Jay, I know you've been hit with with a ton of Wil Myers questions, and I have another one for you. He pretty much said flat out at the end of the season that he thinks that his best position is going to be left field. Is that an assessment that you agree with at this point? I know you guys want to give it some time, but do you think that he's suited off one position in the outfield?
I think we continue to say Wil's really talented. And he has the ability to do a lot of different things. Again, I think from our standpoint, I think we'll just look and see what's best for the team, best for the organization, and best for Wil. And I think when we signed Wil, I think from a versatility standpoint, we know we can play a lot of different spots. We're still trying to figure out if third base is one of those positions or not, but we know both corner outfield spots and first base. I think we'll have a lot of answers here in the next couple of weeks going forward about what's the best place for him to play.
Have you been getting more interest? I mean, you've had some talented outfielders in like Hunter Renfroe and Franmil Reyes. Have you been getting more dialogue from other teams on either of the two?
Yeah, I think most conversations we're getting hit on. People are talking to us about our outfield. So, I think other clubs are seeing that. We have players that are young and they've shown that they have the ability to play in the big leagues. Obviously, they take note of the second half that Renfroe had last year, the rookie season Franmil had, some of the adjustments that were made, and I think that's the area that we'll have to make some decisions and calls on.
How much of where Wil ends up is predicated on who's back next season? Because if everyone's back, there doesn't seem like there's a corner outfield spot for him.
Yeah, no, it's all part of it. I think part of it is obviously conversations that'll be had with Wil. I think part of it is our own baseball group and our coaches and our scouts feeling of what's the best opportunities to get the most out of Wil's ability, and then part of it is the roster construction. I think last year, like us asking him to play third base was, his team where we were not in contention to go to the postseason was let's find out about a few things. And with Franmil and Hunter swinging the bats the way they did in the second half, I think it was a situation to go find out, and a little bit of a little trial and error to see how it played out. And I think we'll have depending on where the roster is, we'll have more decisions here in the next few weeks.
So what did you find out? What's your assessment of what?
I think a little incomplete, honestly. I think there were moments like the first night he went out there and played that he showed that he's got hands and he's got the ability to complete plays and he's got range and some natural instinct. There were other nights that honestly it looked like a guy that was learning and growing at the spot with real growing pains. And I think those are discussions that we've been having a lot here over the last few months, continue to have, and the roster does contribute to that.
Your catchers, have you had dialogue on your catchers, and does it make sense to have two premier defenders share time?
Yeah, I think we like that concept, in general. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, it's not really a position where you're not seeing too many guys playing 130 games. I think to have three talented young catchers at the AAA level or above with Austin Allen and obviously Mejia and Hedges, I think it's a good spot. I think at the big league level next year, I think we've talked about we could go a number of different directions. I think you could go see a situation where one guy wins the job and becomes more of the regular player. I think you see a situation where it's a clear split. But I think the players will tell us. I think the good news for us is we feel like we have three guys at the AAA level or above that are going to catch in the big leagues for a long time.
You think both of them will be there in spring training?
They should be there. Yeah, I mean.
Peoria.
Yeah, I mean.
Padres.
Again, I think like we talked about in the outfield situation, that's clearly a spot that other teams are talking to us about. So you always have to listen. I mean, there's never. Even if you're a championship club, you always are looking. You want to keep your eyes and ears open and see if there are opportunities to get better as an organization. So I think at the catcher position, it's a hard spot to find talent. We have three really good ones, so I think we'll be listening. But I think short of anything significant, we'll go into camp with all three guys in big league camp, and most likely Mejia and Hedges competing for the job or looking to share the job.
You made a couple of changes to your coaching staff, to your training staff, some longtime trainers, McCabe and Navarro. Was there a particular reason for that? And was any of it related to the type of off-season injury that Wil Myers had, putting on the weight and losing the weight and what?
Yeah, no, definitely not related to any specific injury or Wil situation or anything like that. I mean, I think a lot of the Wil stuff, for the most part, there was some kind of fluky type injuries. No, I think again it was just getting together at the end of the season, review process. They're not easy decisions when you decide to make changes. But I think from a leadership team standpoint, the people that weighed in, we felt like we could go out and get a little different voice, a little different ideas, a little different dynamic in both the weight room and in the training room. And I think we found ultimately have some candidates and people we're talking to that are going to put us in a good spot going forward.